106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. We're so happy for you to be here, and even happier to have a sponsor to allow all this to happen, and his name is Chris Wootton. The Wootton Financial Group is our sponsor, and they are there to help you get through your financial woes, worries, or whatever. And he's always trying to get people to take the money out from under the mattress, and we're going to put it in a place where you're going to feel safe. And he knows all the ins and outs of, I think he does. That's just my opinion. And but he's a great guy. He's so good to us, and he's re-upped his sponsorship. So I tell people, look, this guy, this is like the third time he sponsors, so it's got to be doing something good. He just loves to listen to our voice. And whenever Richard and I have the show by ourselves, it's so much fun banter. And we just go over so many different topics. And he says, whenever it's just you and Richard, I learned so much from so many different things. Y'all just don't stay enough on topic. Uh-oh, now he's getting the mic in front of his face. Okay, is that true? He's sucking out of the straw, Vertex coffee, and that's what we're going to be talking about. That's what he wants me to get on. Get on to the guests that are here.
This is boring.
Okay. Ooh, I'm going to tell Chris you just said that. No. Okay, so we have with us today James.
What is this?
Tifany.
Lemon blueberry muffin latte.
Oh, I got to get your mics on. Sorry.
Oh.
You can scoot up a little bit to the mic, too. Sure.
Lemon blueberry muffin
latte.
Ice.
I was like, this isn't coffee. This is good.
Let me see that. Maybe I do drink coffee. No, okay.
You want to try it? You're going to give me something.
I'll give you something.
She's probably going to give me something.
Oh, peer pressure. Don't tell my mama. She's the one who said coffee is from the devil. So.
Oh, man.
Your mom was kind of...
That doesn't taste like Folgers. Wow.
Sounds like your mama and Bobby Boucher's mama sound similar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's true. And she never let us drink.
What was wrong with coffee? Is it because it has caffeine?
Because it had too much caffeine in it, and there were too many people hooked on it.
Too much caffeine.
Too much. What did I say?
Well, because you drink soda all the time.
Wait, let me tell you, the end of the story is she wouldn't let us drink it because it was too much caffeine, and people get hooked on it, and also she wouldn't let us do that. But before we left for school every morning, she'd give us a Coke. And so we'd drink Coke whenever we want to. And my brother-in-law comes into the family, and he goes, now, wait a minute. Y'all can't drink coffee, but you drink Coke. You understand how much caffeine? And he just spoiled the whole thing
right.
for her. And she said, well, that's what I think, so that's what we're going to do. But anyway, I am so glad to have Tifany and James Lindeman.
There you go.
Oh, okay, Lindeman here with us today. And they are Willis people. And, I want to kind of spotlight Willis because that's where I'm from. Now, do y'all live in Willis or just outside of Willis? Or
just inside Willis.
Mm-hmm. You can just make 1, 2, 3 steps and you're outside of Willis and you're inside. Because I'd go like, wait a minute, I thought we lived in Willis and it says Willis city limits. What is? And I get confused. But so they said, well, just say Montgomery, it'll be fine. And I said, okay.
That gets it.
Yeah, it gets everything. And James, I told him, I got on the phone with him, I went like, okay, why aren't you in radio? You know, you have a great voice.
He does.
You do, and you're not putting it on either.
Right.
It's not like I don't. Hey, how are you doing? But it's but you really talk like that.
Yeah.
But he is a preacher, and as well as everything else in the world that you guys are into, I love it. Y'all are so involved, and besides all of that, they have 3 children under the age of 3. Okay, now make that happen. Under the age of 3. And I
Three-
said, so
three
do
and
you
under,
have
yeah.
triplets? And as soon as I asked him, and he goes, no. But they are adopting 2 boys, right?
Yes.
Brothers.
They're brothers?
Yep.
Oh, that's so good. They're going to keep the brothers together.
That's right.
That's awesome.
2 of them.
Well, was that what was your intention, or how'd you find these brothers?
Well, it was a friend, a family friend from where Tifany grew up in Arkansas.
We were already fostering at that. We were already foster parents at that point, and this friend knew that we wanted to adopt as well. And she actually reached out and said, "Hey, do you want to adopt my grandson?" And we said yes. And then about a month later, then the mom called and was like, "I'm pregnant again. Do you want another one?"
Oh my!
They're almost exactly a year apart.
Oh my God! Did you give her instructions on how to make that stop, or did you just go ahead and just call us whenever you got there?
Right.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got they're almost 1, almost 2, and then we have a little guy that's just a little over 3 that we started fostering when he was 9 months.
Yeah.
And he's actually been placed back with his mom. She's doing great, but she loves us. She comes to worship with us occasionally, lets us watch him about 5 nights a week. And
that's wonderful.
it's an incredible story. Like it really is a miracle type story because she lets him call us mom and dad.
Goodness.
Lets us just be integral in raising him and trying to be
She's
a blessing
amazing.
to him. Yeah, actually, she was just over earlier today.
Yep. She's amazing.
She just may say
lady.
he's just at camp all the
Right.
time. That's what he stays at camp. He loves camp.
Yeah.
But you guys must be. That's probably so good for him to see that he could survive and
Yeah.
thrive in both places. And 3 years old is so much fun.
Yes.
I can remember thinking, when does my grandson gonna start talking? Because I can't believe he babbled like he's telling you a story. You know, and
That's
you
our
felt
almost
like,
2-year-old.
Yeah.
and you feel like, I wish I knew what the end of the
Right.
story was because I can't. I don't know whether to do this or do this.
Right.
You know, how do you look at them when they're telling you those stories?
Yep.
But he did so much babbling, and then as soon as he learned to put all those words together, and now he's saying, "Grandma, you're going too fast. No, stop. Grandma, come on. You're going to scare these people. You're scaring me. You're going to scare these people. Just slow down. I went, and I couldn't wait for you to talk. But I saw other 3-year-olds just talking to their, they're carrying on conversation. I thought that was so fun.
Yes.
But that's a great age.
It
It's so
is.
cute.
Very fun.
And you got them coming right.
Yep.
So you're going to be entertained for years.
Yes.
It's going to be fun. Well, if you don't, I mean, you have to be able to form that bond with the children you're adopting, and so if you don't know if the parent's going to come after them or if they're going to leave you or what, do you just kind of try and have that in your mind as you love them? It's always on you're lucky to have them.
It's tough. It is. We've had 3 foster kids, and they've all gone back to their parents, which is
an
not
anomaly.
common. Yeah.
And that's what you want.
It
I know.
is, and we pray for the parents a lot, so we definitely give that a lot of credit for it. But
Yes.
it's hard. It is, but it's very rewarding because I think the times when I think this is really hard, then I think about not getting to know those kids, and it's just like, man, that's worth it, And we've been fortunate where our Zane was our first placement, and so we still stay connected with him, and he's over all the time. And then we really only have one that we don't ever hear from anymore, and so but we know that she's doing well. That it was the right decision. So,
Right.
but it's hard. Yeah. So yeah, you kind of get a little bit of an idea of what you think might happen up front, but you just never know. That's what everybody tells you, is you just never know.
The whole idea of like protecting yourself or kind of like guarding yourself it's not a reality, at least not for me, because that's the last thing these kids need. You know, you're not getting pulled out of your home because things are going well. And so the last thing that they need is for somebody to kind of be reserved or guarded. Show them love, you know, I mean.
Just give them all your love.
Yeah,
Oh.
and we do. We look at it as a ministry. You know, I mean, we desire to have a family and, you know, for these kids to be around forever. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that people are very well-intentioned when they say, hey, like, guard yourself, but how do you guard yourself with a little person that you're loving and trying to show the love of God? No, like, I'm glad God doesn't guard his self with me.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
You know?
No, he has, and he sure has reason to. But I think that it is hard to do that. And when I first had my first child, I thought, oh my goodness, this is amazing. But why do I not feel any? I should feel some like love or something, and it's not there. And it's so funny how that's the mindset you have. It's like, as soon as that baby comes out, I'm just like, oh, child. And it knows you, and you know it. It's more like now because you got to see it. You see a 3D, you see it, it's really there.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden this thing is there, and then
Right.
she's there. And I remember telling her that, and she goes, that makes me feel real sad. No, I said, it wasn't, but like that night I felt more
Yes.
like I couldn't wait for them to bring you to me. But then you have, and you feel like all my love is going to her. And so now I'm going to have another child. And how do am I going to have enough love for her? And you really do start feeling like it's, compartmentalized.
Yeah.
And like, okay, and you have a percentage and you'll be drained and all that. But it sure is wrong. I had 3 children. So, I figured out that was not the right idea to have. But it does, women need to be prepared, some young women, when they have children, and go like, this isn't going to be exactly like the movies. Not
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to work for that love to come to you, and it's
Yeah.
going to make you love them even more. But I'm so proud of y'all. That's great. And how exciting. So how long will the process be now before you get the...
So for our 2 boys, it's a little up in the air. Technically, I think it could have been done by now, but we've ran into a
course.
couple bumps in the road on
Right.
just getting the right paperwork and that kind of thing. So
Oh, yikes.
hopefully soon.
That's going to be... So it's going to be a great Christmas for y'all.
Yes. So, yeah, hopefully so.
Knowing how the paperwork stuff works.
Right.
But I know you're here to talk about Vertex, and I'm calling it Vortex. It's Vertex Coffee.
Yes.
Where'd that name come from?
Well, it's kind of funny. Me and James, with names of our pets, children, and companies, we basically have to come to something we can agree on because we have very different tastes.
I come up with really good names, and she doesn't like them.
What was your name for the coffee?
They were all great. I can't remember any
His
of them.
favorite was Goofy Goat. He wanted to name it Goofy Goat
the
Coffee.
Goofy Goat. That was great. Man, I can already see the logo.
Yeah.
People are cheering in the streets. Nope.
I had a
Tiffany,
certain.
I'm so glad that you're in charge of that.
Thank you. And then I think we had both kind of agreed on Apex Coffee, but it was already taken.
Oh, yeah.
And,
right.
So we came to Vertex Coffee. We kind of wanted like
Something
an
nobody would name
adventure,
right.
like mountain theme, like some kind of something like that. And then
It's very sci-fi sounding. So
is it? Well, Vertex is like the peak, right? So
The
we're
peak.
like the peak, the pinnacle of coffee is Vertex Coffee.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
But you got to you have to go to the V's. So you missed the A for the Apex. Is that what you wanted to do, the Apex, because of it gets put higher up on the
Yeah, it's
list?
just that idea of like the apex, the best, the top, and with it being taken, which is kind of the game that you play whenever you're starting businesses.
Right.
Is like, okay, so what's similar that kind of has that prestige of an excellent coffee, a premier coffee. Vertex fits.
Man. Now, how much caffeine does that 1 cup have in it? Because,
Is the FDA asking? Or- that's it's got a double shot in it. So
Yeah.
a double shot.
Yeah,
Good.
that one's our iced latte, and we actually make our iced lattes with our cold brew. So it's a cold brew latte, and I think
I'm
he's
gonna
a
keep you
fan.
up through the show.
Yeah.
Sometimes he has a hard time because he's gonna send you so boring. But he can. This will keep him awake for it.
Good.
I know it's hitting me. I mean, I'm talking a little faster than I usually talk now, so it's. No, I think it's the chicken max.
There it is. Oh man, talk about good.
Have you had that?
Yes,
place.
we go there way too often.
It's dangerous.
Oh, it is, and he told me, he says, get the not Memphis, the
Loaded
Nashville hot.
Oh my goodness, that is very hot.
That's
It's not.
it's not. Is that right?
It's not hot.
It's not hot.
No, not at all. If you don't have taste buds, it's not hot.
Where are you from, Richard?
From Texas.
Okay.
But it's really not that hot.
It made me sweat.
It
I'm pretty
did?
sure.
Oh,
Well, I
that's-
also don't have
that's-
AC, but
Yes, you do.
in the truck, in the truck,
Oh, in the truck.
in the truck.
That is the. Yeah, I hate it when it's that something's going to take the skin off your tongue. But I just started. I don't know if it's the age or whatever. But I love jalapenos. But I buy the bottle of sliced jalapenos and then pour the juice. Use the juice to mix in. I don't use the jalapenos, and I throw away the. But they're mild. They're all mild.
Okay.
Should I send them to your house?
No.
Okay.
no.
All right. I feel bad about that, but if some pickle, I mean, like especially Mount Olive, if you could just make a jar of just the juice, that's all in the seeds in there, that's fine, because our family of the 3 girls go and drink the juice out of the pickle jar just to settle your stomach, the brine, that whatever it is.
I've heard that pickle juice is really good for you.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about jalapeno juice, and I could.
You couldn't drink. Well, it's mild. It's mild. It's like it's just the flavor. I'm just going for the flavor of the jalapeno, and then sometimes the real jalapenos get sprinkled in, and it's a little warm. But I never liked anything spicy. Never. I want mild everything. But now it's like starting to. Shouldn't have waited till I was 74, but I thought I should have gone before that. But anyway, I'm sorry. We digressed from the coffee Vertex. See, we have so many rabbit holes we used to go down. But anyway, now you guys started a coffee truck, right?
Yes.
And so this coffee truck now goes to different events, or do you have one stationary that everybody can drive to?
So we usually are at a specific location. We're off of 1097, right by the Mannered Mutt. So that's where we're usually at. We're open Tuesday through Saturday. And so that's where if you just want to come and get your cup of coffee, but we tell everybody to follow us on Facebook and Instagram because when we are booked for events, like we were down at the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office on Tuesday, we'll always post on there if we're not going to be at our normal spot. And
so they can
especially
follow you around.
Yes, so we do. It's so fun. We'll have people pop in Conroe when we're down here and be like, I saw on Facebook that you guys were going to be down here. And so it's funny. They follow us around to different places. But yes, then we'll do events. So we do public and private events. We've done some graduation parties, big vendor events, that kind of thing. So.
Well,
Generally Tuesday through Friday. Most of the time we're in Willis on 1097.
Yes.
On 1097. On 1097, what'd you say it was across or?
It's right beside the Mannered Mutt, that dog training facility.
Shout out
yeah.
to Paulina.
Yes.
She's great.
Yeah.
Okay,
she
so
is.
you got to drive a little down 1097
Yes,
from 45.
west, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
between the lake and Willis. So if you're
Okay.
if you're coming up 45 to 1097, if you just turn left towards the lake.
It's just outside of city limits. So before
Okay.
Cude Cemetery Road and before all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have to go over Bentwater.
No.
You stop and get a great coffee on your way to Guadalajara's.
Yes.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's what I need. I'll eat Mexican food, but I'm not going to eat. I can't drink the coffee. The coffee would just. My mom would be so upset
Hey,
with me.
Cindy, I got something for you. We've got
what?
non-coffee drinks.
Yes.
We've got
Those are really good too.
They are. We've got quenchers, which are either a Topo Chico or like a club soda kind of drink
It's gonna be
base
carbonated.
mixed up with some different flavors. They're really good.
Okay.
We also so we ventured into frozen drinks, like a big icy or frappuccino is what some people call them, and we can do that with and without coffee. So
Do you have the coladas?
We don't.
You don't?
No.
I love iced coladas. Not the with the
We do
Not the liquor
have,
in it,
so we
but
have a
You leave out the
coconut
peony.
yeah. The,
coconut rum cake right now.
I'm not going to say virgin colada. Okay, I'm just not going to say that. Okay, you have
So
what?
we have coconut rum cake on the menu right
I
now.
almost brought
Okay.
that one for you.
And that
Oh,
one would be, you
thanks.
could get it without coffee, and you could do it blended, and it would still be some of your coconut in there
Oh,
and everything. So
good,
that one's
good.
a popular one.
No, that sounds good. I love the names y'all. Y'all must have to sit down at the kitchen table and go like, okay, and fight over the names.
I should
and go
should
through-
ask him more honestly, because he is pretty creative with naming stuff like that.
Yeah.
Wait, can we go
And-
back to the beginning of the show?
No.
Whenever I got shut down for trying to
Hey,
name.
I will say this: he doesn't give himself credit or give me credit for giving him credit. But all right, we also own a pet sitting company called Lone Star Pet Sitting and Dog Walking, and I don't think he remembers this, but he picked out that name, and I went with it.
Classy name.
And it's called what?
It's
called
Lone Star Pet Sitting and Dog Walking.
Lone Star. Well, you're up there with everybody. You know,
Yep.
Lone Star is a popular name.
It
and
is,
So
and he picked that one out, and I said,
Okay,
"Okay, we'll do
that's-
it."
Hey, I do better work these days. I do better work.
that's awesome. But you have now. I hadn't heard the pet sitting and walking.
We were going
No.
to try to get on a second show.
Oh, okay. I told him, I said, I think we can do a mini series on you guys. Just like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But if we have if you have the, how do the kids work in there? I'm just trying. I want to make sure they're worked in.
So yes, so I am very fortunate where most of the time I get to stay home with them. A lot of the pet sitting stuff, we have a fantastic couple managers that work with us, so they have kind of
Oh, good.
they
Okay.
do a lot of the stuff, and most of the time stuff just gets escalated to me if necessary.
Now where is that located?
That's in Willis as well.
Is there a name? Is it a hard? I mean, one of those
Brick and mortar.
brick and mortar.
Yes, so we do kind of two aspects to the pet sitting business. We do in-home pet sitting in Conroe and Willis, where we'll come and take care of your pets in your home. But we also have dog boarding, where they can come to us and board with us.
That is so great to know, because I have a Maddie and she wants to go with us everywhere, but it's too hot and stuff. And plus, if we go somewhere, she'll stay outside until we get home, and no matter what the weather, she just sits in there and barks or cries. And so I've always thought, if nobody's going to be around to let her in and stuff like that, what do we do? You can't always count on the neighbor.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we do. And
Yes.
I did so much stuff for their pets, so that I knew that one day I'm going to have to ask them would you go over and check and make sure they're feeding and
Yes.
fed and stuff. But to have oh my goodness. Now that would be hard for me because of the getting used to the dogs and the dogs getting used to you. Do you have a hard time with them, new dogs coming in? And
Most of the time they're good. We've unfortunately had to turn a handful of clients down whose dogs had some stranger aggression issues. And that's more when it was just me doing the pet sitting, then I would go over a few times while the owners were there and try to work with them more. But as we brought on other sitters and started hiring and everything, it kind of became I'm okay doing this stuff, but I'm
Yeah,
not
but
going
we
to
gotta
send
keep
somebody
them
else
safe.
in there doing that.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Come here, little bud.
We do. I mean, there's different procedures and processes and everything to try to make sure that you've got chill dogs or at least a safe environment. But we really are blessed to have a great team.
Yes,
that-
they're good at winning over dogs too. So
and they're able to take
cats.
so much of that off of our shoulders that we can just kind of own the company and sort of steer the company, and that's opened us up a lot to focus on starting another company, Vertex.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So you've got one. Do you have any brick and mortar like for that, or is that because you're going into people's homes? You don't need it. Just online.
So for dog boarding, we do. If people want to bring their dogs over for daycare or boarding for them to stay the night, then they can. Yes, we have a brick and mortar.
Is that where your truck is?
No.
Okay. Is it further down?
So
Because
our pet sitting business is on the opposite side of the interstate. So that's going to be
Oh, okay.
east of the interstate,
Okay.
not too far from the Willis High School is where the pet sitting is, or boarding. And then the
Vertex
coffee
is
business is west of the
side.
interstate.
Okay. Okay. So I can make sure I take advantage of the pet thing.
Yes.
And then I can drop by and get the coffee and
There
bring
you
it
go.
to Richard.
Or go with one of the non-coffee coffees.
Oh, right. Yeah, I have to
non-coffee
taste.
drinks.
I have to taste those as well. You have tasting. Do you have a tasting bar, like a little shot glass?
Hey, I can put on my tasting bar hat for you if you come by.
I asked him something about it, and he says, "I wish my wife will need to talk about that." And it was like it was about the coffee, about having it handcrafted, because
Yes.
I wanted to find out handcrafted. That's a great way to say something. It's like homemade,
Yeah.
homemade coffee.
I think saying handcrafted, it is a craft, you know, like I was saying earlier, anyone can learn how to use an espresso machine and make some lattes and put some syrups in there, flavor and all that kind of stuff. But actually making, it's almost more of an Italian style coffee, or because of the espresso that we pull,
right.
The espresso shot we pull. It's more like a ristretto, which, so you weigh the coffee grounds before you even pull the shot. You pull the shot, you're watching the timer, you're watching the weight as the shot is pulling. And so it's going to be, I was telling James on the way here, is like having a quality latte or cappuccino or something like that. It's actually more complex than a good bottle of wine. There's more that goes into it than.
Yes.
Actually, during the day, it's not uncommon for me to adjust either how fine or how coarse.
It has to do with barometric pressure. You're going to have to adjust your grind probably several times that day if it's overcast or raining or anything like that.
Oh my, is that sensitive?
Yes.
And so, I mean, you can have it just all automated basically, to where it's just like we just grind it, whatever it comes out. We're just going to make it. But the thing is, you lose so much quality, you lose so much flavor.
Coffee should never taste bitter or burnt. And I think that's kind of the American idea of coffee, is bitter, burnt coffee. And you have to have your sugary syrups in there to make it drinkable. And really, that's what we strive for. We're not against the sugary syrups because they are delicious, and we make those ourselves. But if you actually have a quality latte or cappuccino, you shouldn't need any of that. You can still have it. It's delicious,
So you don't want blackened coffee.
We're all for black coffee. That's what.
No, I mean blackened coffee. Like
Oh, blackened coffee, right? Right.
You do the meat, because I actually accidentally burned my green beans and potatoes, and it was a big pot, and it was just too heavy, and it sat down there, and all of a sudden somebody said, I think it's burning. And so I found out it wasn't. I'm like, oh, that whole pot of I'm going to eat it anyway. I don't care. I'm going to eat it anyway. And it was actually had more of a flavor. I said, I don't think anybody else will try this, because what I'm going to explain, it actually has a flavor to it. It's a different flavor. It's like, so I did. I had to eat the whole thing, because nobody would taste it because they thought it was burned up.
4 pounds of green beans.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's difficult. But somebody had to do it. I think that what you guys, that it's funny that you're in the coffee business and all, and James being a minister. When you said pastor, it was funny. I thought, is he a Baptist pastor? Because Church of Christ.
Pulpit minister.
A preacher. Minister. You're a preacher. That's what you go. Yeah. Call yourself something else. But I had never seen the obsession with coffee as I have in preachers. They drink so much coffee, and they talk about it incessantly. We'll sit in the meeting, and somebody says, "Hey, have you tried this from Starbucks?" And they sit there and talk about it over and over. I'm like, just, we really need to get to what scriptures y'all are going to use on Sunday. That would be good, guys. Okay, so, but I think that it is interesting that the people around in offices and stuff like that, now that the people are working from home, I don't know how much more coffee that they drink or don't drink, but when they're at the office, they just drink a lot of coffee. And it's like they don't even care how bad it is. Yeah. They just need that.
That used to be
shot.
Me. I worked in finance whenever I lived in Ohio, and we had a break room that had like the little pods that you could put in, and so you just picked like whatever flavor and used the pod. And sometimes I'd mix in some sugar and some cream, or sometimes I'd just take it straight. And I didn't have a problem with it. I could drink that stuff all day long. Once we moved down here, excuse me, well, I guess it was even before that, but Tiff kind of started getting me turned on to sort of this craft coffee stuff. And I used to be able, we would go out to eat breakfast and I would just get a mug of coffee and I could have 2 or 3 of those, maybe take one to go. We went out to eat the other morning and I don't even know if I finished my mug of coffee because you just, you can wake your taste buds up whenever you're drinking good coffee.
And it knows. And your mouth knows. I think that's so funny because I think you're exactly right. It's like, what are we drinking now?
Yes.
Are we stranded in the, the UK? Where are we? But anyway, I think that if you guys have that varied of different positions that you're doing, are you writing any books or anything?
No.
No? Okay,
I've had a few people ask, you should write a book. And I'm like, where am I supposed to find time for something like that? Barely keep the house clean with all these kids running around.
Man, I don't know how she does it. Y'all date night?
We need to get back into that. It's tough.
We
don't
dream about date night.
We don't have family in the area, so
Oh, you need somebody to watch those babies.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Cindy.
yeah. This Friday night, you'll be at our house.
I'm not going to say anything because this is recorded and it'll be on YouTube for infamy. So you have to watch what you say. No, but I do have a 16-year-old that probably would
There
be
you go.
doing that.
No, we do. We have some really great people from church that'll come
That are
watch the
right-
kids.
Oh.
We probably should set something up a little more consistently because a lot of our dates that we do even go on turn into business meetings. So.
The members of the church are going like, okay, I can either ask them over for dinner or I can
We've got a
babysit the
member-
kids.
We got a member from the church at the house now watching
Yes.
this.
What is her name?
Alia.
Yes.
Alia?
Yes.
I love that
She's
name.
the sweetest thing.
Alia, thank you, because I can't imagine what this conversation would have gone through if they had to bring the children. Right? Thank you, Alia. So she got a shout out. So
Yes.
when she watches this back.
That's right.
And how old is she? Is she a teenager? or-
No, she has teenage kids.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's a house cleaner as well. She does a fantastic job at
She
cleaning
is?
the house.
She
Yes.
professionally she does that?
Yeah, she does.
Okay,
So,
what
Yeah.
does she ask for references before she comes clean your house?
I don't know.
Because we got turned down by one group
Oh,
that was with us.
no.
They said, Miss Cindy, we can't clean your house anymore. They say can't do it because they don't feel like they can do a good job on it. And I said, it looks great. And they went, not to us. So I said, okay, fine, thank you very much.
Wow.
And I said, now I should have my feelings hurt of that, right? And I looked around and was like, I'm never having somebody else come and clean. And then
You have to do
turn
the
me down.
pre-clean before they get there. That's the whole thing.
That's what the whole
I mean,
thing is. I don't
at
wanna
our
do
house,
any
we have to spend a whole day pre-cleaning before anyone can come clean our house.
Yeah.
We had some friends come over the other night to watch the boys, and whenever they came in, they were like, "Whoa, toy grenade!" Like, sheesh.
Yes, it does explode. And having Maddie, it's like we're trying to, we could put together the hair that's all over the place and make another dog, I think. But
Yeah.
I said, do you just shed on command? What is the deal with you? This is ridiculous. And we just brushed you out.
Yes.
And then you look at her, she walks outside and starts rolling back and forth and stuff. And it's just, I never thought I'd have a big dog. And it's great. I'm so afraid something's going to happen to her.
Oh.
And the kids are always on me about, don't feed her that. Do you want her to die tomorrow? When she dies, we're going to blame it all on you. You understand that, right? And I went,
All right.
okay, wait, I'll try and do better. But I love having one dog because we tried to bring in a puppy, and the puppy I couldn't take it. I just couldn't take it because it was always under my feet or it was scratching at me. She scratched both eyes in the Maddie, and they just won't quit oozing. So anyway, I hope y'all are having breakfast. No, didn't lunch. Lunch while I'm talking about this, but I just think it's so interesting that you guys have so many different plates spinning and still can thrive. And so I see why y'all wanted to come get away for an hour. Let's just get away for an hour and talk about things. But I really am so excited for the fact that y'all have a really growing business. And Sharla and
Shanna.
Shanna and Sharla, if you're listening, because she called me today to say we can be on there, and we're supporting or helping 26 different businesses. And she says, I think you know Vertex Coffee. I went, yes, we do, and they're coming on today. So she was really excited about y'all coming on. And then so this week's going to be a Willis week. Willis is only is it 15 miles from Conroe to Willis?
It's probably not even.
Okay, because I think it's about 15 minutes to get to Willis. And so, and our radio station call letters are 106.1 and 104.5. Why are you smiling? Why? They're still there, right? Okay. And so you can listen to our show if you're between New Waverly and the Woodlands, and then it may go Spanish, and you think, what happened to the language? They're in English and now language. It's funny the way that the radio. I think you ought to check to make sure that we're not supporting a Spanish-speaking.
I have no control over that.
Oh, okay.
I do like getting phone calls about it, though.
You do? People call you and say,
Oh, yeah.
where are you? He does a morning show each morning, and that's on the radio, right? Live?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're a radio station, Cindy. Everything's on the radio.
Okay, but sometimes
I do it in the bathroom on Instagram. That's if you didn't know. I can't believe you didn't know that. The morning show.
The morning show. Okay. Well, I was trying to promote you because I never hear you say, "Hey, so don't forget the Cindy Cochran Cruise coming up at 2 p.m." Do you say that?
Well, my show's at 8 a.m.,
I know,
so
but you
no
could
one wants to stick around for that long.
Well, but you could remind them about us that when they get to work and they get on their computer, they can switch over to the Cindy Cochran show and listen to that.
She's failing right now. She's like,
What?
nothing.
See,
I'm just messing with you.
You said James has a good voice for radio. If you put him on before you, he'll talk about you.
okay. There you see. That's
I'll pump up your show.
Yeah.
you pump
I'll
up.
just do an hour of just telling people that you're getting ready to come up.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And be sure to say Lone Star Community
Yeah.
Radio.
There you go.
And be sure, and
Well, I always do live updates if you're alive or not.
if I'm alive.
Yeah, because I always say, "Oh, Cindy Cochran called me last night at 11 p.m. again. She's still alive. She's still there."
That's so sweet. When you get to this age, you need those checks.
Yeah,
Those
so
well
you
checks.
can
Yeah.
sleep good at night.
I
right?
mean,
No, he always answers the phone. You okay? When I call, it's not hello.
because she
who
always
going-
calls at the worst times. It's
know-
always like 9 p.m. Like I'm just finished. I'm like showered, getting ready to get into bed. I'm like, "What do you want?"
It's just as I have this one question, just one question I need to get answered before. No, but usually I have texted him, and I've called to see if he got the text, and he goes, "You don't understand text, do you?" He goes, "Once you text me, I'll get that, and you don't need to call to see if I got it or not." And I went,
Yep.
"That's the."
I'm just glad we don't pay for minutes anymore on cell phones.
Yeah, right?
Because that's what I would never answer your phone call. I'm like, this is-
After 9, though, you can. Right?
well, it just depends. I mean, I'd be like, I'm never answering your phone calls.
Put her in your fave 5.
Don't give him any support for that because
I should just block her number and see what she does. Like,
I would come down here, I'd come to that door and start pounding on the door like, "What? Did you just block me? Why have you done that?" But Richie and I really do have a really good relationship. It's gone
Yeah.
way far back to
well, what I love about our relationship is everything I like, she doesn't like.
Yeah.
There you go.
So if she gets something that I like, she usually gives it to me because she's like, I don't want this. Like, hey, coffee. I
Yeah.
like
I
that.
didn't realize you guys were married.
Yeah. Or pretty much.
Sounds right.
You didn't know that?
It did-
Do you know how many people get creeped out by that? Wouldn't that be hilarious? We should just start telling people that we're married.
Richard. Sam tries to find this on the internet, and he can't
Hey,
find
Sam.
this show.
Hey,
He's-
Sam.
My husband Sam tries to find this show like everything. Says, "Okay, where's the show? I'm trying to find the show." And then he goes and does some adjustments and some stuff, and he goes like, "You just gotta keep it on the same thing, and all I have to do is push a button, and then it comes on." I went like, okay. But I've had him on the show as well, and Richard loves him because he loves especially his ringtone. And you know what he's going to do now? He's going to say, "This is what I'm going to do. My message,
Not ringtone.
not ringtone,
Voicemail.
Okay.
voicemail." He said, "I'm just going to say, if this is an emergency, please hang up and call 911." He says, "If it's not an emergency, I do not want to buy or do anything over the phone. I don't do business over the phone. Okay, if this is family or somebody that I like, and you know," but he'll just go on like, I'm sure the people have hung up by now. when James called me, I didn't recognize the number, so I picked it up and just sat there on the phone like this.
I was thinking, man, this voicemail is taking forever.
And finally, he goes, "Hello?" And I said, "Hello?" And he didn't say, like, "This is the Medicare calling you to find out." And he said, "I just talked to Kaylin." And so I was like, I'm so glad you said that, because I hang up because those robo-stupid calls,
Yep.
and they want you to act like you're talking to a real person, and it's just a recording. So I usually just listen and let them start going, "Well, hello. Good day. It is a good day. I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good." And we just wanted to talk to you. Yeah, but I just see how long it takes him to do that.
Yep.
You know what I was thinking the other day, Cindy, is how do official, I would say like the government or whatever, trying to contact people, how do they really do it? Because if you think about today, no one looks at their mail.
Sam does.
Sam is also an older gentleman.
Yes.
So I'm talking about like people my age. I literally it's just a trash bin. Like I just open it and I just throw it all in there. And
Mail tub.
And in phone calls, I don't accept any phone call that is not an unknown number. So I'm thinking that's probably why the IRS is going to start showing up at your door, because you like the face-to-face. Everyone likes the face-to-face.
That's the only way they contact you is through the mail. That's what they're supposed to do. Now they've started doing some surprise visits, and so that
seriously,
Wait, who? The IRS?
the IRS, the revenuers are coming.
That's
You better
not
get
called
your-
a surprise visit. That's called an audit.
Well, no,
Surprise
I was just thinking about that.
I brought
'cause
cookies.
Do you guys look at your mail at all?
Like every couple of weeks, once a month.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And so how many times do you think they're told, like people tell the government, like, "Oh, I didn't receive that"?
Yeah, certified letters. They got to be sending certified
Yeah,
letters.
that's the one thing, because I imagine that's the excuse for everybody. It's like, I never received that.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm somewhere between the Gen X and like I'm like right at the beginning of millennials, like when we were cool. Mm-hmm. And it drives me nuts when people don't answer numbers they don't know. I feel you, man. I get it.
Well, no, it's weird. It comes in waves because, for example, the mail to the station, I answer all the mail because it's never spam. It's never just a bunch of stuff. But like my personal mailbox, I still get like the last 3 people that live there, and it's just like there's just chaos. And then the phone, all of a sudden, like 2 years ago, I would say about 90% of my phone calls are all spam calls. And I'm like, well, did I just sign up for some Chinese website, and all of a sudden I just get random phone calls and
Put your number on a bathroom wall.
yeah, or something like that. And now I just get annoyed of it. I'm just like silence. Like, not if they leave a voicemail, I'll check the voicemail.
See, I'm at such a handicap because I live in Houston, Texas, and I've got the Columbus, Ohio number. So I get it whenever I call people and they don't answer.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to be some
Well,
kind
it's just
of robocall, because it said, and if it said Willis, Texas, or something like that, I don't know.
But and it's like, oh, now what do I do? I've had that number since I was 17. Like, how do I change it now?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's.
Well, when do you think it's going to be the norm just to get like 3 phones? Because you have like that one phone that's for like the government, and then you have one phone for your
And the red
friends,
phone.
and then you have your other phone for like your
For
everyday.
Cindy.
Yeah, for Cindy. Like,
You're a single guy, huh?
yeah.
Okay. If once you get married, there is no more than one phone.
Well,
You
Well, it's
sir
kinda-
would
well,
be in trouble.
Well, it's kind of like you have multiple email addresses for like, oh, I use this for
That
my
is-
Yeah, the
spam.
That's
junk
true.
I
email.
use this for like my official login stuff. And then, so same thing with phones. Eventually, that's what's going to happen with the way we use our phones.
Let me find out how close we are as far as generationally here.
Okay, I'm 37.
Oh,
My dude.
he is too.
Yeah.
Oh, you're 37?
Yeah.
Hey.
All right.
Buddy.
Do you have like one predominant password for everything?
No.
See,
I do.
Now the hackers are gonna be all over James.
I didn't.
I
say
mean,
if did or not.
I have a philosophy for my passwords, but it's like every password's different. But I have a code.
I've got like my rules, but I still end up forgetting. It's like,
Well, imagine Cindy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But you know what can
can't
help you
remember
remember your
anything.
password? A great cup of Vertex coffee.
It was very good, by
Brings
the way.
back-
I never had anything like this.
Good.
See, that's great.
I'm a black coffee guy.
Yeah.
My dude.
Burnt and bitter. No, it's
Hey,
good.
you can still
No,
have
I
a
really-
black cup of
yeah, I
coffee
know.
that's not burnt and bitter.
I know I've had really good cups of coffee. So, and you guys, I was looking at, I put the links to your social media for the description so people could check the Instagram and all that stuff. And it looks like a lot of fun what you
It is
guys
a
are
lot of
doing.
fun.
So that's cool.
We actually just dropped a ad today that we had shot with
Happy Lens Media.
Happy Lens Media. Give us a discount. Shout out. And we have gotten overwhelmingly positive feedback from that ad
Oh,
today.
that's good.
And it has really encouraged me to think up some more very goofy ideas. Because then that's the thing. It's like, what are you going to do? You know, I mean, are you going to do a commercial where you're just like, we have good coffee. We take pride in making a great cup. It's like, dude, nobody cares.
Trust us.
Make me laugh or I'm going to swipe.
Right.
You know, and so
Make it look fun.
yeah, we tried to do it a little bit different, and we got some really positive feedback from that. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And I love that you guys went out to the sheriff's thing and did that.
That was a great time.
Because
Oh, y'all didn't meet Cindy in the wild, did you? Because Cindy usually meets a lot of her guests in the wild, and I always love the idea of like her just approaching the trailer, like, "What do you guys do here?"
In the wild.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I kind of want to like meet her, like, you know, out scuba diving or something.
Go. You should go with her to Kroger and HEB. It's so
that's my
weird.
place. And,
It's like she's a celebrity there.
Yes.
It's so
I'm
weird.
It's like her
waiting-
Cheers.
I'm
Everybody
waiting.
knows her name.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to name an aisle after me, and I tell them every time I'm there. I said, I give y'all so much money, and it was so sad during the pandemic. I was putting on this mask, and I put on this. I looked like I was going to rob the place, and it was first time I realized this looks ridiculous. This looks I'm gonna go try and rob the place. And so I walk in there and I come back out and I texted, you know, I thought it was gonna look like I robbed the place, but they robbed me of everything I had in my purse. So they've got all my money now, and I spend so much money at the grocery store. It's ridiculous.
It's because
And
you go
now-
every day.
Yes, I go every day.
She goes every day.
every day.
Isn't that weird?
Well, I have
I
to get
feel
that
like that's weird.
aerobics thing in some.
Well, at first when she told me that, I go, "Wait, so you like one of those people that never use a cart? So like I can only buy things I can carry out." Because I
use a cart.
still don't get it.
I use
Like,
a
why do you
cart
go every
just
day
like
though?
this.
Like, you ever use a grocery
And
list? Do you ever make one of
lean
those?
You lean on the cart. There's an art
You're-
to leaning on the
Do
cart.
you make a grocery list?
It's all in here.
Yeah, that's probably why you go every day.
I wonder if this is something that like A&E or somebody could make a show about. You know, kind of like
Following
Hoarders.
her? Yeah, following her.
But it's
Oh.
like people that shop every day at a
day.
grocery store.
One of my favorite stories of Cindy, because we've known each other I've known Cindy for like, I want to say like almost 10 years.
It's more.
Yeah, it's something like that, more than that. And one of my favorite stories, she came out to the studio and she goes, "You wouldn't never believe what I did." And I go, "What?" She lives in a place where pull the trash cans out to the front is kind of a drive. So
Like
what she
500
does,
feet.
yeah, it's like, so what she does, she opens her trunk and puts the trash can in the trunk, drives to the end and then takes it out. Well, she forgot to take it out.
I found
she-
out what my
she-
attention span was.
She drove all the way to the studio with a trash can in her trunk, just hanging out. Just like, and I'm thinking to myself, imagine all those people watching you, and there's like little bags of trash, and they're just like, "This lady's crazy."
If it was in Willis, they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
there goes a Willis person.
Just somebody that missed trash day.
She's trying to put it in ours. But I think
Oh, that
it
was a
was
great.
it
I
was
can't
terrible because I kept waving at people. People would go by and go like,
Oh no.
and I'd wave like I knew them. I thought, who is that? And
They're trying to get you to stop.
She's like, my radio show is really taking off.
Small town celebrity.
No, she pulled in, and I was like, "Why would you tell me that? It's so embarrassing."
And then that became the talk of everybody that came on as a guest. She said, "I got to tell you what's," but I had to go out to the car, and I was going to, explain. This is the way the trash was sitting, and the way it was putting out like this. And I was trying to explain to him is that we got this big window to the studio, and I realized people were coming up and going, "Is that your trash?" And I went, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, where are you going to throw it?" And I went, I got to take it back home because they won't let me throw it here, and so I'm going to take it back home. This is going to be fine. Okay, all right, I got to wrap it up. And I know you guys are so great. Thank you so much for being with us, and you guys go out and check out Vertex Coffee when you're driving through Willis, and you have to get off of 45. All right, we want to say, first of all, we love you, first responders. We love you so much, and we respect you when you're running in. We're running out, but you're so brave. Thank you for that, and we want to pray, and all of our prayers go to the people in that submersible, the submarine that has
The Titanic.
that's looking for the Titanic. Is it what is a submersible? Who cares? Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, because
every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process of helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendations. A registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.
Did you know that there are over 153 million